and towards 2. And if you see when I open up my hands, both of your hands should be together. If you're throwing giant pieces of clay, you won't be able to touch your hands together all the time. But with the amounts that we're throwing, your hands should always be together.
Both hands together and flat. No?
I don't know. Not flat, because then people
But
are like
together,
this.
touching.
Like that, and then you don't want to say like, you have to be flat.
So your top, like the edge of your top hand is sort of pushing down a little bit?
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
pushing
your
on the radius.
outside hand is kind of keeping it.
Pushing towards 2. And pushing together. So now I'm going to slide my right hand down while my left hand pushes. Right? So there's slightly a bit more pressure with your left hand, but this hand is actually doing a lot of work to keep it nice and round. And now I'm going to open up my hand for this part. I don't normally keep my hand open for this, but usually my hand is like this. But right now I'm just going to tuck in my bottom, and then I am going to grab the clay towards my left palm.
This is called
Coning.
Is the bottom of your right palm about the same height as the bottom of your left palm when you're coning up? It's exactly okay.
Pretty much. One hand is grabbing and one hand is pushing back.
And coning
So-
is to center more.
No, coning is to make your clay smooth the whole time you're centering.
Oh.
So now I could center my clay in the first touch, but
Okay.
doesn't mean that it will feel good when I throw it.
Okay.
So now you guys see where my hands are always together, right? If you need more water, slowly release and get more water. So you want to get this plateau before you start doing your down thing, just to complete the move. And now I'm going to go down again. And the clay goes up.
Should you start pressing with the middle of your hand more when you go down like that?
This?
Yeah. Oh, so
I'm
you're
pressing with this
Okay.
still. And now I'm going to tuck in the foot, and again you see I'm just grabbing the clay towards my left palm.
You make it look so easy.
Yeah.
So it's already centered?
That's how skilled she is.
How did you get it centered to fit?
I don't know how to not do it anymore. It's like if you do it a lot, that's what happens.
I would sit there for like
Yeah, but
40 minutes.
I mean, if I'm your teacher, I should probably be okay at it, which wasn't always the case. Teaching is a great way to learn.
How tight do you hold your left hand down to keep it from mushrooming? Because that's what always happens to me, is it starts making that smooth.
You just push more with your left hand and less
two.
with your right.
Okay.
You'll figure it out. It's really just about troubleshooting on your own pieces. So now that my clay feels pretty smooth, I'm gonna make my hole.
This is opening it up.
No, right now I'm just making the opening. And then I will open it up. So now, slowly release. If you want to inspect your thickness, get the water out. Oops. I'm gonna go down in the center. So it's this thick at the bottom. Yeah? So now just keep that in mind, measure it later. It's about a centimeter, I think. So now I'm going to
Open it up.
open it up. My palm is down here, and the shape of my palm is reflected in the shape of your clay, right?
I know.
And then you loop your fingers over, and you keep your palm down on the bat, and you just open it up.
This is where if you don't release really slowly, for me it gets off center.
Yes, always release your clay very slowly. So now I'm going to do my power pull. So first I'm going to push in with my left hand towards the center, and my right hand is not allowing the clay to go in, so then it has no choice but to start going up. Thumb, middle finger on the outside. This hand is guiding and supporting the clay while this hand pulls it up. So the pressure is with my thumb, middle finger, and index finger towards the outer two fingers. The pressure from inside should always be above the pressure from outside. And you always want to slowly release the pressure towards the top because it's very easy to get thin rims at the top. And then you want to collar it in. So now I'm going to push in with my right hand. And I'm going to use the side of my index finger and my fingertips to pull it up. The interior pressure is always above the outside.
Oh, positioned above the outside.
Always. Pushing above. So that's how you draw the clay up. And I'm releasing the pressure towards the top. So when you collar it in, now I'm using between these two fingers to collar it in. Right? This is the only way really that you can make stuff that's narrow at the top. So now I'm going to push in. And again, collar it up. I mean, you know, pull it up. And again, release pressure at the top, collar it in.
So when you're collaring, you're using your index finger,
Mm-hmm.
and then the sort of like inside of your.
So, next pull I will do with my wooden rib. Okay, so when you do your pull with your wooden rib, you want to point away to clean off the foot. And I mean towards you to clean off the foot, and then point away for your pull. So and the pressure is going to be in front of and above the tool.
How much pressure is the inside fingers doing?
It's equal. And then you can push towards your tool to make it a perfect triangle, to make it a perfect rectangle. Or we can turn it into a triangle. What do you say?
Okay.
Or a cone, rather. I don't know what we'll do with a cone. Actually, I'm making a chandelier that has cones in it, so you apply moisture. Now that there's no water anywhere, if you wanted to like collar it in to make a bottle or something like that, you would just apply moisture with your sponge where you need it. And then you just collar it in. It's what?
Looks like a beehive almost.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but
And you do something very similar to the power pull when you want to make a bottleneck.
something similar to the what?
Power pull. So when you're making the opening smaller, you're not just pushing it in, you're also like bringing up the clay, because when you make the opening smaller, you're also making the clay in that area thicker.
Wow. I'm still sleeping.
So do you guys want me to close it up? Yep.
Whatever. Sure. I'm never gonna be able to do that, so it doesn't matter.
Never say never.
And when you have something like that, do you like poke a hole in the bottom so it doesn't explode when it fires?
Yeah.
Or
Somewhere. I mean, we can make this into like a jar or something. It's another practical reason to do something like that. So you just want to go over it with your tool there at the top or something to make sure it's sealed. And then because there's a bunch of air in there, you can kind of manipulate the shape of it. Oh no, it's off center though.
That's really cool.
That's pretty masculine if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Now should we all touch it?
No, it's mine. Okay, so if I were to make this into a jar, it looks like cone heads.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm gonna make a cone head jar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
The
paint
face.
their face on there. Yes. This is very practical.
Or no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the garden gnome.
That's okay. I can buy a mold for garden gnome, but you can't buy a cone head. The only problem is that I need a flat tool. Does anyone have like a...
Here's the bottom of a fork.
Yes. Very smart. There we go. So then later I would cut that with an X-Acto knife and it would go down and be a lid.
Did you wait for it to harden a little bit?
Oh,
before
yeah.
you cut it?
For sure.
And you would cut it at the bottom of that sort of inner length, like with the X-Acto knife.
Yeah.
You cut it at the bottom. So
Yeah.
that sort of
Yeah, yeah.
slide down.
So you have an inner lip. So I'm very excited about my cone head.
Very cool.
Okay, so I guess I would make a hole in there now. Because while it dries, if
Oh.
the air can't escape, it
Right.
could pop it.
Got it.
Oh.
You
So
make
if-
a hole where? Oh, in that bit.
Yeah.
Just
You
like
couldn't
with one
do
of
that
those
if you
little
wanted
piercer.
to, you know? That little
Yeah.
peekaboo in the
Yeah.
middle. I'm just gonna leave it unglazed in its full glory. So, yeah.
Would you? I was here the other day and I've seen people put something there. Is that-
Don't do that.
Well, yeah, what is